As the market sold off today, once the Fed decided to keep their interest rate the same, a lot of people are thinking that this market is going to keep on selling off and going lower. Well, I think that this is a good thing that happened, because what it did was it overplayed a lot of people's hands. Where yesterday I said to look for a move down lower, and if that does happen, then that's going to be a trap and the market's going to go higher. So I'm going to show you by the end of this video what level I expect it to go to and when I expect it to turn, both in this market and in the NASDAQ market. Looking at the S&P 500 here on the 4-hour chart, we will soon go back down to the 3-hour chart, 3-minute chart to look at the trades for the day. This was the level I was looking at right here. So in yesterday's video, I said look for this 38% line right here at 74.95, 74.95, pretty much 74.96 to start the resistance area, and we'll see if price can go higher. Well, the price didn't go higher at all. It ticked right off there, barely it. Ticked right off, which was off the top of the trend channel, hit the trend channel a couple more times, then went down straight to the bottom of the trend channel, hit the target area entry 73.79, and there we go. So we have the entry being hit right there, the target being hit, we have the lower channel being hit right now. So this was the move down lower that I was predicting that could happen, and since it did happen, now I'm looking for the market here to start its move back up higher. And where is this going to go to? It will go to at least the 38% line right there, which is going to be at 7,441. Now the price can of course continue to go higher past the 38, but this is a minimum level I'm looking for. It could of course go to the 50, which would be right there, the 61.8, even higher like that. But if it does that, then that will be the first break out of this trend channel and show the first weakness for what the bulls have in this downtrend market that they've created right now. But for the interim here, I'm expecting market to bounce off of this and move back up to the 74.41 area. Going into the trades for today, we started off the market, opened down a little bit lower, and then soon went up, but went into the previous day's extension zone. And what this red box is, it's yesterday's high and low measured from the 100% to the 114.6 extension level, and the reverse for the down low, 0% to the negative 114.6%. So we just take the first touch of it, and the first entry is right when it hits the 100% line, which it did right here at 6:45 p.m. So it ran up a little bit more up to the top end of it, and then the exit for it is going to be the 38 Fibonacci retracement level, which you anchor to the low of the day, which is currently right there. If we're taking it at the, if we're taking the one in the green box down here for the support, we anchor it to the high of the day. But so here we anchor it to the low, go up to the high. And so for this first one right here, slight little profit down over here for that trade right there. Then moving forward, nothing else to talk about until the market opened right here. This yellow box with the black border is the 1 minute opening bar right here, because what this does is it helps me identify which way I should be trading for the market. So if the candlesticks close below the 1 minute, then I'm only taking shorts. If it closes above it and it hits my entries, then I'm taking only longs right there. So when the market opened, we had one close above it right there, but what we need is the market to go up, break this high right over here, that high right there at 75.01, and if it did that, then we can start looking to take longs, because I don't take it in the middle of the move right here. But it did not, and then a couple minutes later reversed back down, and now we have a confirmed short below it. So now we are going short, but we need a new low to be made, because this was currently the current low of it right there. So there we have the new low right there, and now we can start looking for new short trades. But the first one we have before we get to any short trades will be the other extension box, and I only take the first touch of it for the trade right here. So we go measure it to the previous semaphore for it. Now I apologize if I said we do it from the low of the day. We do not do it from the low or the high of the day. We do it from the last semaphore that is created for it. So for this one, it'd be this semaphore right here. And all the semaphores is they just show swing points on the chart. They help me identify them. The oranges are the medium level, the reds are the high level. So the reds are more of the permanent ones for it rather than the oranges. So to have a red, you have to have an orange, but to have an orange, you don't have to have a red, if that makes any sense. So we go from there, and you can't trade directly off of them because they paint after the fact. Like if they just painted right there, then of course you would take that red one right there and then just run it up, make a ton of profit. Then as soon as that red one painted, you have your position right there. But unfortunately, it does not work like that. It repaints after the fact. or it gets created out. So going down here, we hit the entry right there at 74.16.15. Price did move down quite a bit for it. Marked it here with the box, but came back up, and if I didn't get in the second contract over here, well, then that would have been it right there. But for it's a very break-even profit for that trade right there. So for this one, if you're getting out at the very beginning for it, you got to be aware that sometimes you may have to get in for a second contract to make some decent money out of it. But what we can see what happened down here is what drove this even further was the market was looking for the profit target right there, and look what happened. Right when it reached it first, look at everyone taking their profits over there that we looked at on the 4-hour chart, and then the market started going back up from there. So when it did that, that created another short setup. So we take, for the short setups, we take it off of the high of the day down to the low, and when it hit the 38% line at 74.2250, the price went down before it shot back up over here and hit the 23.6 level at 74.03 to complete that short setup right there. Then from there, we have price going up over here, broke above the 1 minute box right up there. So we have a potential long setup over here, but look what happens right here to disqualify it from us. So when price was coming back down to go and, let me move this right there, to go and be hit from it, look what happened. Price came down, and before it closed on this bar right here to signify we're going short, it hit the 38% line. So what that does is it invalidates the trade, because we do not have a confirmed short setup when the trade got initiated right there. So this is not a valid trade for it right there. And good thing it's not, because the market just straight off sold through it, because at around 1:54 p.m. this is when the Fed decided the announcement, FOMC announcement, that they are keeping the interest rate the same. The market apparently was expecting them to reduce it, and they did not. So the market just straight sold off after that, all the way down to the second extension box. And I'm going to talk about this one just for a second, because this doesn't happen too often. But what this is, it's using yesterday's high and lows, just like the original boxes are, but it goes from the 200% line all the way down to the 261.8% line right down here. So when this gets hit in a day, that means if it's in the green box down here, the market is extremely oversold. So look for a rebound off of that. Now going over to the NASDAQ, we have an even greater depression as it went past the trend channel that it had been following down pretty religiously right here. And what this did was this created a different target we're looking for the pullback to happen. Yesterday the old target was 28,940. So now the new target, since we have new lows down here, is 28,691, and that is where we expect the new battle to start between the bulls and the bears. I fully expect the bears to give up, trap a lot of people on this side. They've taken all their profits. Bulls take over, and they're going to run it up to 28,691. Now, of course, they can run it up higher than that. You have the upper end of this trend channel right here. Then you have the 61.8, 76.4. But if it starts closing outside of this trend channel, it means the bulls may have some momentum behind them. But what we'll do is when we get to there is we'll start drawing trend channels across some other ones, because in other videos I've shown is that there's actually 3 different layers of trend channels that the bears are operating in right now, but this is the one that is the most relevant for it right there. And now going into the trades for the day for the NASDAQ, we only have two main ones for it right here. The first one is going to be the bounce off of the support extension area of the day. So we go ahead, the last semaphore, which is going to be right here, and start drawing it down to the bottom over here. So there's where it hit at around 27,602. The exit is going to be the 38% line. So here is where the 38% line is hit at 27,633. So kind of like the ES 500, there really wasn't much of a profit target here today for that one. But then from there, we were currently in a short setup as well, since the price had closed below the 1 minute box, and we have the setup hit. The price goes and hits, or it closes above the 1 minute chart. So here we go. Here is the entry right here, the 38% line at 27,702. Goes up, takes right off the 61.8% line. So when that happens, what we do is we move our target, the original target, which would be the 23.6, up to the 38.2. So for this trade, if you're not just waiting, getting in first at the 61.8, you'll need to do a second contract up here if you do want to get some profit out of this. So went up, hit the 61.8, and it ticked right off of the 38% line for that trade to be said and done. So here for the NASDAQ market, that was it right there. So for these markets, the number I am looking for the next major action to happen currently is 7,441. Here in the S&P 500, we're at the low of the trend channel. We hit the profit target box. So the next level I expect the price to move up to will be 7,441.